like my mom always told me there's a difference between a friend and an acquaintance.
Right.
Sure.
Like, what do you look for in a friend?
So in a friend, they don't expect too much from you. I like somebody who's super needy, who needs me to text back, who needs me to do this,
Right.
or they get mad at me or whatever. I don't have the capacity to do that. You know what
We're
I mean?
not in a
Like,
relationship.
we're not right. Like, so you have to be okay and trust me that like it's cool. Like I'm still your friend. Like, you know, I just don't need to talk to you 24.
Right.
I have my best friend lives in Colorado. Like I've
gone
never see her.
months. Yeah.
I'll fly out there. I go out there twice a year. She'll come here like twice a year. So I probably see her more than I see like friends that live here, honestly. But like that's the perfect scenario for me is just like being apart togetherness where it's like no matter how far away you are, you come back and it's like you pick up
never
right where you left off. And I can't explain like what it is about a person. You just have to like, there's no judgment, there's no. And there can be like conflict because every friend has like, oh, you're getting on my nerves or whatever. Like, you know, that's okay. But I just think when a friend starts expecting too much from you or needs you to do something for them or is using you in some way, that's when it's toxic. So I don't know if I necessarily look for things to be a friend. I look for things of like red flags.
Right. When to kind of like.
What if a friend does like some backdoor stuff? Like to where like
sexually?
They
I was
but I mean,
Define backdoor.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Okay, so by backdoor, I mean like I'm not the type of person like, oh, you have like, you know, like you have to like hang out with certain people, but then again, it's just like, what if she hangs out with somebody that like has disrespected you?
Your enemy is my enemy.
lot,
My enemy
you
is
know
your
what I
enemy.
mean?
Yeah, no, that's happened. And unfortunately, I was in a situation where I was working with this friend and like we were friends because we worked together. And, you know, I really was having like a great time and like we were friends, but she started doing some really shady shit behind my back and I found out about it. And that's when I first I quit. I quit because of that.
Whole job.
I quit my whole job because of that. Because I'm like, I don't need to be in this environment where I feel like I can't thrive, where I feel threatened, where I feel like there is somebody here that doesn't have my best interest in mind, that's actively trying to put me down every single day. And not only are we friends, we work together. So like that scenario was just a no for me. It's
uncomfortable.
So I was like, I quit my job and then I was like, yo, I can't be your friend.
I'm the type of person,
I was like, I can't.
I probably would have stayed there until I made her uncomfortable.
Facts.
Just staring at her. But here's the thing though, because like I'm an Aries, like I would never let on that it was bothering me. I'd be like, you know, I wouldn't
just carry
myself on.
But that's, you got to kill them with kindness.
And then all of a sudden it came
every single time.
every time. But then all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is such a shock to me. It's like,
but it's still kind of like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When like you come to work and you're used to talking to somebody on a daily basis, and you go from that to like not being able to talk to them. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't mind confrontation, or yeah, I don't mind like whatever, but at the same time, like it is different. Like me personally, like I'd be like, okay, this is my job. I'm gonna come here and do my job. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
yeah.
Silent treatment, so be it.
Well,
whatever.
and that's because it started as like we're friends, and then I like kind of like silent breakup or like silent quit. I just stopped.
So
she's like, "You want to hang out?" I was like, "No."
Right. I feel like since like I've had to own like salons, I've became friends with people that I've worked with before, and then they've always felt like I owed them something. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hate that.
You know, like they literally felt like I had to give them free rent or like, you know, just like things like that. And I'm just like,
it's
like,
not
just because
personal.
I know you're struggling.
It's a business. Yes.
Like, I still have everything that I have to handle on my own too. You know what I mean? So it's a good balance to where you have to make sure you're good on your end, but you're still looking out for them on their end. And I would overlook out for people that I was friends with.
But a friend shouldn't expect that of you.
I was just gonna say,
right?
yes.
Why they're not my friends.
Yeah,
and
like
a friend should support you regardless. Like my whole thing is like, you can sit here and buy $60 shirts from so and so, $100 hoodies from so and so, whatever, but your best friend or your friend or whatever does a business and you don't support that, rather it's sharing whatever for free. Yeah. Like then you don't want the best for me. And it's like, okay, well, why are we here?
Why are we here?
Like,
why are we here?
You know,
why are we friends?
But me and my best friend, the same thing like you said, we could go months without talking to each other. And the second we get back together, you would think like it's just instant. Like we just click. Always have, always will, like whatever. And I always ask myself, like, okay, like why? Like, why do me and her just click? A little bit of like trauma bonding per se, whatever. But it's kind of like we've seen the worst of each other. Like we have seen everything from one another. We've never judged. But I've also been very honest with her too. Like told her that harsh truth of like, hey, like, look, like, I think you should not have done that. If you're going to do this again, like, teach his own, whatever. But like, I'm going to have a hard time respecting it because like, look what happened last time you did this.
Yep.
And she can do the same with me, but it's not like, damn, like, okay, like, fuck you. But it's like, I appreciate that you're being honest with me.
Yep.
But you should be able to be honest with your friend.
You have to be honest
I
with
feel
your friends.
like when somebody, and this, I mean, I have, like I said, like I have that one person that I'm just like super close with, like, but she's also never given me a reason to
Cut her off.
yeah, exactly. Cut her off. She's never done anything that I felt like bad vibes. Never given me any type of negativity, you know. There, so like everybody else has. So
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like we all have that one.
Now, have you ever been cut off by a friend?
I would say like possibly grown apart.
I don't know.
But how do you know like
Let me know in the comments if you
but there's a difference of also being like cut off and like just growing apart. Because like with me too, like there are some friends like I've grown apart from, but I would never wish bad upon them. I would never talk bad
You'd still
upon
say
them.
hi to them if you
Right,
saw
100%.
them. Yeah.
But
do they reciprocate?
I had a hard time with that. I had a hard time with.
Like, no, you cut me off, and I'm just like, I love you though.
Yeah.
I want to be your friend.
I went through that actually. Like I was going through a hard like mental time a few years ago, and you know, I didn't reach out to my friends as much as I should have or could have, and you know, I saw that they were like going out and like doing stuff without me.
Yeah.
And I was so sad. I was like sitting there. I was like, oh, I was like, oh my God. Like,
right. You
like,
felt kind of left out.
No one
hurt.
told me that they were doing this. And so I texted her and I was like, hey, like, what's
going on?
Hey, like, I would have gone. Like, why didn't you invite me? And she's like, you haven't reached out. So I said, listen, I'm like, if I don't reach out, it doesn't mean that I'm like trying to avoid you or like, I don't want to talk to you. I said, obviously, if you don't hear from me for a few months, like I'm going through something,
right.
I need to unplug or I need, you know.
But you got to check on those strong friends too.
Exactly.
Like,
and so now we wellness check. We're like, wellness check. How's it going? Like we just check up on each other.
Sometimes it just takes that one conversation too to where they're just like, okay, now I understand. You know?
Yeah. Because it can be hard. I mean, especially when you have a job to maintain, you have a relationship to maintain, you have in some cases children to maintain, you have, you know,
when I was in a relationship I didn't have a lot of friends,
right? And that's kind of how it goes, right?
Like that's how it goes.
I am not doing that this time. I'm not giving up my friends. I did that before. I'm not doing that again.
And then now that I'm not in a relationship, I feel like I have a lot of friends but they're kind of meaningless. You know what I mean?
Like acquaintances, like having fun friends.
Having fun friends. There's my one. Here I go, my one friend.
There was a book I was just reading.
Your one friend.
No,
wait.
I'm just talking about my best friend.
Oh, your best friend. Oh, not like a. Didn't you say you're dating somebody?
Yes.
She didn't talk about it.
That's to be continued.
To be continued.
In the book I was reading, they were talking about friendships, and they were like, you have your friends that you can call on to go get a drink, to go shopping, to go whatever. But it's like when you're going through those dark times and you call their phone, who answers then? Exactly. Who comes in to help you move, if like pack up your stuff if you need to move to the house, like whatever. Ooh. And it's like, that's what I had to learn. Because when I was going through one of the darkest times, whatever.
Nobody ended up showing up.
It was like, I had like maybe like one or two friends that were like there for me, answering the phone, like checking in on me, you know, whatever. And I'm just like, thank you. Like, but it also opened my eyes to be like, cool. Like I thought I knew certain people, or I thought certain people were there for me. Right. And it's like out of sight, out of mind. Yep. And you should be able to move to another state. You should be able to not talk for a couple of weeks, whatever, and still come back. And like, but also if I can't make it to going out to the clubs or going out to get a drink all the time, or like whatever, like you should respect that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like
going
if you
out,
gotta cancel on me last minute because you have something pop up, whatever, I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, cool, like she canceled on me again. Like
Right.
things happen.
right.
I am the queen of I will promise that I'll go out next weekend, and next weekend comes
And you're
I'll
just
go
like-
out.
and
Yeah.
I'm in, no, I won't. I'm in my sweatpants at home.
And
Don't
that's
feel like
my-
going
That
tonight.
is my oldest sister. Like we were literally about to have like a group sister FaceTime, and she's just like, "Hey guys, rain check." Just
I'm
'cause
the
she smoked
yeah.
weed. And I'm just like, she just got high. She's like, I don't want to talk.
I'm
That's
like
fair.
the
I get
queen of
that.
like
I
rain.
get that.
It's completely.
One
But I'm
time I
trying to
got
get
high
better.
I
and-
don't even respond when I'm high.
One time
so
I
it's
got
just
high
like-
and my partner's parent
Text back.
stopped over, and I was just like, I'm too hard to have to talk to parents right now. Like, what do I do? And he's like, you're fine. You're fine. I was like, am I? And he's like, maybe you're not fine. I was like, he's like, why are you freaking out? And so she like came and I was like, hi. Like, I was just like sitting on the couch.
And you make
like,
it so obvious that like you are
it
not
was so
fine.
obvious.
Like
Yeah.
I can't go places at all. Like when I would smoke in high school, whatever, I go to like a movie and I would fear that I would see somebody that my parents knew and I would just go back home. Like,
Don't look at me.
It's like,
Like, oh,
social anxiety.
it is.
I try to get my parents to smoke now. It's like a fun little game. Like,
No, my parents.
I try to like
Stop.
bully them into
My dad's like, oh, it's legal now. Yeah, here's a roll. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool, Dad.
when you get older, like you could kind of do that sometimes.
My
Like,
Okay,
mom still
so-
doesn't want me to like drink or anything in front of her.
no.
Speaking of like parents and friends,
my
is it okay to
great-grandma.
be
She knows.
friends with your parents now?
Right next to her. She'll-
Is it what?
Is it okay to be friends with your parents now? Like,
I'm-
when does that?
My
When you were
grandma's
talking about
always
the
been my
person
best
that you
friend.
call, it would be my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
Like when you need
Yeah, my
something or
mom
when-
is like-
not even when I need something, when I just need advice or when I need somebody to talk to even make me feel better, like I'll call my parents.
When I find out something or I hear something, Mom, you won't believe what's going
Oh,
on.
100%. I will call my parents. My dad or my mom. Doesn't
I call
matter.
my best friend.
Good for
I
you.
should get the habit. No, but I should though, because I feel bad because I do
I
feel
love my
like
best friend, but
you
she,
know-
like, this last year, like her and I like just.
But you become like
Yeah.
sisters at that point. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like my best friend, like we like she lived with me for a while. Like that is
We haven't
My-
gone a day without talking and like.
that is my sister. Like we'll do that too. Like the wellness checks. Like
Mm-hmm.
we'll constantly be like, hey, like good morning, da da da. Like hope you have a good day today. Like we may not get back to each other right away.
right,
It could be 8 a.m. and then like 8 p.m. But like
Right.
it's there.
right.
And that's like my ride or die. If I gotta rob a bank, she's pulling the mask up. Let's go. That's what I need.
That's what you
That's
need.
what I need. No questions asked. Like he hurt me. Okay, let's roll. Like
Right.
Let's
real
go.
quick. See, let's do it.
I was gonna make a joke though.
pop him in the trunk real fast.
Tie him up.
Time up.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. That's a story for another day, kids. Story for another day.
Oh man, that made my night. Yeah, but I think it's good to have true friendships versus like it's quantity over quality.
Nope.
That's
Quality.
what quality over quantity.
Said nope.
No,
Edit that
No,
out.
it's not.
I think
That's false.
it's just,
False.
it's okay. We get it.
Oh my god, she said that's so serious. Nope, you're
Nope.
absolutely
It took me a minute to process.
No, I didn't.
literally in my brain though. I said it the other way. Like
No, quantity.
Quantity over
No,
quality.
quality. Oh my god.
Quantity.
Quality.
over quantity.
Quality.
We love quality people.
this is why I said I gotta
Quality people
record.
are-
Are we okay? Is it hot in here? It's so hot in here.
I feel fine now. Yeah.
She was, you guys don't understand. She was hot like this whole time. She was like, it's hot. She was rubbing ice cubes on her face. It was so hot in here. And now she's fine all of a sudden.
You're hot now.
Now I'm hot. Oh, Lordy.
The nerves.
Where's our?
No, I think it's, I honestly think it's the wine.
It was
But friendships. No, I mean, this is kind of like a really interesting, I think what we're doing right now is like an interesting social experiment.
we have like this is crazy.
This is crazy. We are three strangers talking about relationships, things. And I already know that like there are things, and we'll probably get into it once we like get to know each other a little bit more, like that we all why are you laughing? haha, that we like don't agree on. You know what I mean? Like I already know that like there are some topics that I'm like, I don't agree with that, but that's okay. But I have the confidence that like we can all talk
You
about
respectfully
it and be
like agree to
respectful.
this. Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like in a friendship, can you have disagreements? Can you walk away from it? And be okay. It's okay to not agree with everything that everybody says. It's so okay.
Unless
We
you're
all
like
have-
racist or something, then it's like,
right. Like that is like,
gotta go.
unless you
Stop.
Gotta go.
else, is that right?
Honestly, I'll just walk away. I'll delete,
Yeah,
I'll
fact.
block real fast.
Yeah,
what I
that's
do.
not okay.
Very
But
quick to do that.
yeah, I just think that I feel that from
But that's
us.
how you learn too, though. Like,
Yeah.
if you have an opinion that I may not agree with, and if you explain genuinely like why you feel that way, I'm like, okay, like, thank you
true.
for like educating me in
Yeah,
a way, you know,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people fail to realize that is there's so much more to learn out there as long as you're willing to, you know, sit down and have those conversations or whatever. And that's another thing about friendships too. Like I've had so many friends I've kind of like stopped talking to because I don't have a problem being very honest and be like, hey, like, why'd you do this? Or this hurt me, or like how whatever. They can't handle that.
I wish I could say that more.
See,
That
I feel
hurt
like
me.
I'm probably
I wish I could say that.
like I'll let things build up so much over time, but it's like I feel like the way that I look at it is you shouldn't do anything to where like I feel like I'm disrespected in a friendship. You know what I mean? Because if you're
true.
disrespecting me and you're considering yourself my friend, then we're not friends.
It shouldn't even get to that point.
Disrespect is different. It hits harder than like an
And
argument
if I
or a
even feel
disagreement
some
type
of way about
or
something, like-
or a typical fight. Like disrespect
I
can
can't
come in
come back
multiple
from
forms.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
like you just know, like you just catch on to it. So it's like sometimes you just really have to cut those ties where it's just like, you're not my friend. You're not a friend to me. Like
Yep.
you've shown that, and I don't even have to explain myself because at the end of the day, you know what you're doing.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So
Like-
how do you feel like this was my policy too, is like if you have a friend, you guys know multiple people, the
tell
same
them it.
people, whatever, and somebody comes to you and they're like, man, did you see what so-and-so did the other day? Like, I can't believe she, like, if you come to me and you feel comfortable talking about one of your
I
friends,
don't like that. I don't.
then
It's
I
like,
know
what are
you're
you
talking
saying
about me,
about-
right?
right,
And
yeah.
it's like, I can't respect that either because it's like, one, like, have that conversation with that person. If
Yeah.
you are genuinely hurt by that person, like, don't talk to me about it, go talk to them about it.
I'm guilty of it.
Like,
We're all, I mean,
we're
I'm
all guilty of it, let's
I'm
be
guilty
honest.
of it.
Like-
I used to be, I mean, I'm not guilty of it so much anymore. but,
right.
like
At one point in
at
time.
one point in time, I was really guilty of it. And I do feel bad. And like some of those people I still need to have like a sit down
Heart to heart,
conversation with. Cause you know, even though some of those people I don't really talk to anymore, I still consider them a friend.
You think that you should go back with somebody and have a heart to heart with someone that you already cut off?
I didn't really cut them off per se,
It's kind
but
of like a closure type thing. Like,
it's more of like,
See, I'm so like,
but
I don't ever
but I
need
do want
closure.
them as a friend.
Oh, you do.
I
you
do.
don't have any hard feelings.
No, there's no hard
It's just
feelings.
like-
It's just been some things here and there that I'm
Right.
just like that never really got addressed.
Right.
And then it just was left to like fester. But I know deep down that like if we just kind of came to like some sort of closure or conclusion, that we'd be okay.
Now,
Like
if you
we
blatantly disrespect
it
me or
happens
something,
when-
I
then
just learned something because maybe I should be more like that. You know?
I was like, look,
So
so
I'm more so like, all right, we're not friends anymore because you just aren't my friend. You know? Like,
no,
you're
and
not a
that
friend to
and
me.
there's a place for that. But
You know what
like,
I mean?
so perfect example. Like we're friends. This girl, we're friends now. She lives in Seattle now. I'm very sad because she moved. But we were friends, and then you know used to work at the same place, and that's kind of how we became friends. And then we all kind of dispersed, and we all remained friends. We were like this big friend group that all used to work together, and it was like really cool. And obviously, like with a big group of people, it was men and women. Like you know, people talk here and there, whatever. But eventually, it got to the point where like she was mad at me because I was talking shit. I was talking shit about her. I didn't like her boyfriend. I thought he was a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit. To be
Hey,
fair, he was.
it'd be like that sometimes.
He was. And he was causing a lot of drama, and I didn't like it. And she was too good for that. And I started talking about it to everybody but her, really, because she couldn't handle it at that time, and I didn't know how to have that
Right.
conversation with her. And so we ended up having a really big fight, and like kind of ending the friendship because she's like, "You're not a friend to me. Like you're like, how dare you say this about me? Blah blah blah. You're talking shit behind my back." And so I was like, fair. So then we weren't friends. But we
I
still
feel
like
when you're in a toxic relationship, it's really hard to understand that you're in a toxic relationship
until they see it like for themselves.
until they
Like
see it for themselves. So like, yes, you're gonna, you know, other people are gonna feel like that. I've had people sit there and tell me like, yes, this is like fucked up.
love
like,
is blind.
Like they stopped talking to me for, you know, years just because they know what I'm going through, but they're like, she's not seeing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you gotta see it yourself, and then you'll kind of.
You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Like that's what my mom always like.
Yeah.
So eventually we, you know, because we still had the same like friend circle, you know what I mean? So we would still see each other. So that's what kind of made it awkward. Like we would be cordial with one another, but we wouldn't like, why did you just turn that on? We'd be cordial with one another, but we wouldn't like make an effort to like hang out. But eventually I did, you know, have a heart to heart with her. We were downtown actually, and I just said, hey, like anything that happened in the past, I just want you to know, like I did it. I said that stuff because I care about you and I like love you as a friend, and I don't want to see you get hurt. You're too good for that.
Right.
And she's like, and she knew that, and she just had to be out of the smoke to see it from a different point of view. I shouldn't have gone about it in that way, and I recognize that now, and I was wrong to do it. I should have just approached her instead of yapping my mouth. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was an eye-opening moment for me to understand, like, oh wow, like this is how a friendship can like end, but then like rejuvenate, I guess.
So one thing I've learned in the past year is like it doesn't matter how long you've known each other, because honest to God, the circle I have right now of friends are there for me thick and thin. Like if I'm going through something, they'll check in like, hey, whatever, all like no problem, no questions asked. If I need somebody to take my kids or whatever, like nothing. And I've only known them for a year, gotten close to them the past year, and I'm like, okay, that goes to show you that it doesn't matter how long you've known each other or whatever. There's not a time limit on when you become such good friends.
Right.
Like even with us, okay, known each other what, a month?
Right.
And it's like, all right, like you kind of click, like whatever, you just know.
Yeah.
And it's like I've known people, like I would say realistically my longest friendship that I kind of like still talk to here and there, like reach out, whatever, I've known since I was 4 years old. But like my best friend and I've been best friends since 6th grade. But like that's like it. Like all my other kind of like.
It's kind of crazy. My best friend and I, we sat together every single year at lunch, and we never
spoke.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love those
moments. Every single year in high school, it was like it was meant to be, but it never was.
When they see you and they're like, I just thought you were like this and like that, and now I realize that you're like this. And I was like, well, if you would have spoke to me back then,
right?
Like, you know, like
we both knew, like we both knew we were always in the same type of time, but it was just like kind of just
timing's everything too.
Timing
though.
is everything.
And then our exes both became like best friends.
Aww.
So her and I became best friends, and it's like we both separated, and now we're just here.
Aww.
It's nice.
I think that's kind of like another thing too, is when you become friends with somebody through something, and it's like, well, now that that's separated, it's like, okay,
Are we still friends?
Are we still
Can the friendship
friends?
still stand on its own? Yeah.
in my past, in
I
my
lost friends because of it too, though.
yeah.
Worse, like it's been terrible.
Like my ex's brother's wife and I were like good friends, but we all dated or whatever. And nicest human being you'll meet, like one of the sweetest people. But like when we separated, it was kind of like that was just it. Like everything on that side of the family got cut off.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, and I understand it because it's kind of awkward. Like
Everyone handles things differently.
yeah,
No, it's so weird. And like I was in a relationship for 10 years, and like since high school, like we were all friends.
right.
His friends were my friends, and I didn't even consider them his friends. They were my friends. You know what I mean? Like I would do stuff with them without him, you know?
Right.
And then when we broke up, it was awkward. And I would like text them and be like, oh, are you in town? Like, I want to see you. Like, let's like hang out, you know? And I didn't have any problem hanging out with my ex. I still don't. Like, we still talk.
Good for you.
That's crazy.
Because 10 years, where does it go? You know what I mean? Like,
Good for you.
no, I'm serious. Like, I like, to me, it's not even a question. We're better friends than like lovers.
At least
this
you could
point.
end on like
I
those
feel like
good
you can't
terms.
be
Yeah.
friends with someone that you slept with.
I can, because
Especially
there's
if you're-
nothing when I tell you there's.
I'm the same way.
Okay, but imagine how like your partner feels.
He says he's fine with he's
says.
been over to the house.
That's awkward, dude. Good for you guys.
No,
but
it really wasn't.
couldn't be me.
It really wasn't awkward at all, because I think he understands that there is no sexual tension whatsoever.
But like regardless, like you gave your all at one point to that human being for
I did.
10 years.
I did. Yeah.
Like Well, she would.
It's and it's so funny because people, but that reaction isn't uncommon that I get, and like he understands it too because his friends are like, why are you texting her? And it's like, I don't care. Like, I'm like, if this isn't good for you, don't talk to me. Like, I don't need you in my life, but like, it's a nice to have. It's not a need to have.
So neither one of you, I guess, have any well, obviously you're in a whole other relationship.
It's
like no type of feelings.
It's a different type of love, right? I love him and I care about him as a person. Okay. I don't want to date him. I don't care about his relationships. I actually would like to give him some advice because honestly, like maybe it'd end up better than the way we ended up. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like and vice versa. Like him and I will talk about that stuff, and I don't feel any sort of way. I prefer it. Honestly, I wish I would have ended it sooner. Honestly, because
you feel like you wasted time.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's never a waste of time, but like
that's how I look at things. Like
it's never
it's a lesson learned.
It's a lesson learned always, and obviously there's always going to be love there. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, this is our relationship now, and that's fine. And my partner's fine with it. I don't cross any boundaries. Like I'm not like hanging out with my ex all the time or anything like that.
I would say now, like even though we're married, like have kids, but we're before that, if we were to separate, like he would be the one that would be at my parents' house and I'd pull up and be like, why the hell is he here? They'd be like, well, you broke up with him, we didn't. Like,
yeah.
Like, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah, but his friends were like very hesitant to like talk to me at first, and that really stung because I was like, damn. I was like, but I'm still talking to we're still talking. It's not like. But they didn't understand it, right? They were like, no. Like when you break up, you break up. So like they didn't understand how we were still friends. And I think eventually now they're coming to terms with it because one of his friends invited me and my partner to his wedding. So like we went to the wedding, and that was a whole nother story because his then girlfriend ambushed me with a bunch of questions. But we won't. That's a conversation for another day.
So last question: do you think it's easier for women to make friends than men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I was gonna say no at first, but then what Blaine said made a lot of sense about I like your shirt. Oh
yeah. Oh my god, I got it from Marshall's. You want to come with me next time? That's literally how it goes. That's literally how it goes.
And I always thought it was the opposite.
Unless there's like a sporting event on, then they can talk.
I do feel like guys are more messy than females.
Messy?
Messy.
What do you mean?
Like there's guys, they talk, they listen. Man.
They stir the pot.
Man,
they stir the pot.
They do stir the pot more than you would think,
I
feel like it's about maturing though too. Like, men technically do mature later than women.
Boys are more
messy.
Yeah, boys.
Boys are messy.
Boys.
Yeah, boy friendships are messy. But yeah, I mean, my partner only has like one friend, and he's great.
If they can watch a sport together, especially like the same team. Okay,
go to, like hockey games together.
We don't do hockey in our house,
they're
but
white,
yeah,
so they're white. It's a white thing.
It's football and basketball. We don't do hockey.
We go to hockey games.
If he comes around and puts on a hockey game, I guarantee you, my husband would be like, "Shit,
hockey's good."
No, football and basketball are like the main.
We should go to a sporting event.
I think we should.
We should go somewhere. Let's go to a game.
Go to like a Bucks game.
A Bucks game out of all teams.
Yeah, because it's better than the Bulls. The Bucks are definitely better.
Yeah, I mean,
naturally.
Bulls are hit or miss. Depends on how they play and who they play. They like to play to their opponent, but facts.
They should always be good. Women can talk sports. Don't let us fool you.
It's a sad day for Chicago fans nowadays. Yeah. Bears.
And Milwaukee is a better time than Chicago.
I've been to Chicago games. I've never been to Bucks games. So I'll go to basketball game.
Milwaukee's a good time. We should go.
We're booking it.
Let's take the show on the road, ladies.
Hey. Meet us at a Bucks game. Let's do it. Pull up to the crowd with the mic.
I'm like all for it. Like would you guys want to see a road show? Let us know in the comments or whatever. Or not. I don't care. We're gonna do it again. Our backstage crew thinks that would be an impossible task, but
we will
can
get
do it.
wireless mic.
We'll make it happen. No worries.
We can do it. You're actually not
like-
invited to the game, so I don't know how we're doing.
Here I am invited, and Blaine's coming to record.
All right.
I'm not recording, so you're uninvited.
Let us know what you think about friendships and
Yes, toxic friendships. Have you ever had a friend that you had to cut off, or have you ever been cut off by a friend? I think that's a good
Both.
one. Both. Me.
You don't.
they don't answer your text messages.
You stop hanging out.
Oh yeah, we know that.
We know.
It's all. It goes both ways.
No, but if
you genuinely try to like reach out to them, like if you
keep
text
texting
them,
somebody,
okay, you don't keep. If you don't reply to me once,
if you keep texting like, hey,
oh yeah,
and they
not
never,
in my feelings, but like that's
cut
I got
off.
nothing more to say.
You know,
Okay. So
Like if I
gotta hurt.
text you once or call
or
you,
if somebody literally told you like, hey, I'm cutting you off.
they got some balls.
That's what I had to do.
What if you don't respond to somebody because they've did this?
Nova's
this,
speaking
and
today.
and this and that.
What are the
I
things?
can't even name them because it's so specific. You know what I mean?
Please.
Okay, so
Please.
my opinion is though,
I want to hear this.
you either you got two
Like,
options.
I can't.
You got two options.
What's
Either
one
you
of
cut
the specifics?
specified. Either you cut somebody off without letting them know, like you block them, whatever, they'll find out eventually. Or B, you grow up and you be like, hey, look, this is the issue, A, B, C, D. If you can't handle it, this is also why.
Adios.
Yeah, like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all adults. You should be able to have a conversation. And if you did something wrong and you can't own up to that, that's on you, not on
I
me.
feel like somebody that so like recently I just deleted somebody off Snapchat. She
Know who
reached
you
out to
are.
me, like she reached out to me literally same day. So why'd you delete me? And I'm like, you haven't reached out to me in how long? Talking about why did I delete?
She obviously stalking you and
Not even
wants to
that,
see
like,
your shit because she noticed right away when you
I love her,
deleted
though. Like, I
her.
do love her. Like I have loved her. I appreciate the times that we had together. You know, our friendship was good when it was. Good.
It was just time to kind of
It
like,
was just time. Like I felt like the disrespect was there. You know, there was times where she did things. You know, went behind my back and did things. She openly did things to where
I hate when
knows,
guilty
like,
people act innocent.
Guilty people act
Like,
innocent.
you know what you did. You just didn't think I would find out. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Like, let's be
That part,
honest.
that's-
Yeah.
that's it. And now I'm just like, I don't have anything to say to you. And like you said earlier, kill people with kindness. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm so happy for everything that you've been doing.
That's the thing, too. Like, I would still congratulate you no matter what. Through
Hey,
thick
we're
and
just
thin,
not-
whatever.
you're just
But
not offended.
I won't. I'll be like,
unless you did me wrong, I'm like, whatever.
I'll be like, oh, you did that? Good for you. Like,
That's really good.
but yeah, I
so
think
nice.
it's important to have good, like, genuine friends.
yep. Genuine. Yes.
That's-
Being
did I say it
genuine.
right?
Genuine. Yeah, no, I'm just like genuine. Yes.
Emphasize.
Emphasis on the genuine. You can be
Been with or like known? Like 9 years?
4 years.
You're fresh, so you know. I mean, you can still answer. So would you guys ever give your spouse a threesome?
Hell no. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
here I go.
Good for you too. Not I.
Why not you?
I'm very big on like what's mine is mine. Like and vice versa. Like, okay, so with you asking that, would you do 2 men and 1 girl? Okay,
Why?
then.
That's okay.
I've done it.
I've known people like whatever. But that comes down to the thing about like
I like looked hard in your eyes.
said,
I was like,
it's a
I've
great
done it.
time.
Okay.
That's the thing too though.
Yeah.
I know more girls I've done that.
I'm
That
not gonna go into anymore because my mom watches
I've
this.
never done a threesome, but I would.
I would not.
Not. Two, I don't think I could do 2 guys and 1 girl.
But
Off
that's the
camera,
thing, though.
man.
So why are all
Off
threesomes
camera.
automatically 2 girls and 1 guy? Like, oh, you're.
Off
I've
camera.
never.
I'll
Absolutely
tell you
not.
every
Like,
detail. I have
wait, are
no
we still
shame.
recording?
I have no shame over any
Did you stop
detail.
recording?
No.
But we gotta end this. This is you know what? This is a topic for another day. We will talk about
We're
three
going
ways.
to rate it R.
We'll talk about sexual prowess.
21 and up next episode.
Bring everybody.
Join the episode. Q&A with
You know
us.
what? That could be. The fuck is in my cup? Wait, you can stop recording, right?
The Pope.
All right, guys.
The Pope.
We're derailing very quickly. Follow us on social at Just Us Girls
Okay, wait.
on
wait a
Instagram
minute.
and TikTok, and we all grown as hell on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Are we though?
I think
We're not clearly.
you're not.
If you can't laugh with your friends, oh, here are the spirit fingers.
My grandma's gonna be so proud of you today.